Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.
Good morning. Big Square, roadrunner.com with your morning horn is your sip of chaga coffee. It's a gone chaga coffee. All right. Last night I put out a post. Alert Heartland Bank failure was an FDIC regulated scam to bail out uninsured depositors. It is insane what these people get away with. Why do we let them get away with it? Heartland Tri-City Bank failed because it was under review for the last 3 years and they couldn't fix it. It wasn't a one-time scam. Even the Financial Times came out with this article. Don't worry, it was just a scam, mocking the FDIC and the Kansas bank regulator. Kansas State Commissioner David Hurdon, when they called about Heartland Tri-State Bank, said, quote, "We declared the bank insolvent because of a scam they fell victim to. I can't speak to the particulars of that. Investigations are ongoing, but it had nothing to do with interest rate increases, nothing to do with balance sheet asset quality, nothing to do with the Fed, and it has nothing to do with the truth either." Listen to yesterday's video. They had been under supervision of the regulators trying to restructure the bank for 3 years. Of course it has to do with interest rate increases. Of course it has to do with asset balance sheet quality. Of course it has to do with the Fed. They only had $138 million in assets, but the FDIC is saying that they're going to lose $54 million, 40% of everything in the bank. That is not a scam, my friends. The only scam, yes, it is a scam. It's a scam by the FDIC trying to pretend there's nothing wrong with the banking system. It is insane. It is beyond insane. They tried to fix the bank. They were 3 years into a restructure and they couldn't do it. They got so far over their skis, they lost $54 million. And oh, by the way, 40 million of that 54 million was uninsured depositors. Yep, the FDIC said they were not going to insure uninsured depositors, and yet every bank failure so far this year, all 5 of them, they have bailed out uninsured depositors. Of course they're going to bail out uninsured depositors. They have to do that. You think people are going to take haircuts on their deposits? It ain't going to happen. If they have the ability to print money out of thin air, they're going to do that. Now, currently, the FDIC doesn't have enough money, obviously, to even do, I think they're like 1 point something% of all their, even the insured deposits. They can't bail those out. But the uninsured, forget about it. Because the uninsured are the rich people, right? Anything over $250,000. It is so. Here's something really funny though. So I put this article out yesterday. This morning I'm looking for this FT article because when the FT mocks the regulators, don't worry, it was just a scam. And don't give. Have you ever heard of a situation like this where they say it happens all the time? I can't speak to the particulars of that. Investigations are ongoing. It is so rare that they finish the investigation and they tell you what really happened. No, this is just swept under the carpet. It's not a gigantic bank. I get that. But it is a highly regulated bank by the Fed, by the Kansas State regulator, right? By the FDIC, by the OCC if they had derivatives. I would guess they probably did have derivatives. How do you lose 54 million of 138 million in assets? It's almost impossible. They only had, I think, 6.8 million in the treasury bonds, which obviously those are all collapsing, but that was tiny. You cannot lose. It is impossible. First of all, the concentration, you can't, as a bank, you can't have more than 10% concentration in any one investment, right? So that's, 13 million is their largest, 13.8 million would be their largest investment. And yet they lost 54 million? Come on, people, work with me. Anyway, just go back 3 years. You can find all the information. Sean Haynes had talked about. They were in the middle of a restructuring, but they got to give us time in 2000. So it's been under restructure for 3 years. They couldn't do it. Poof, they implode it and say, oh, it was a scam. Don't worry about it. They probably tried to get out with derivatives, and then that went squarely on them. Who knows what the truth is. But it was a scam, all right, and the FDIC covered it up. Anyway, let's talk about another scam going on. Where Monday, so again, Wednesday through Tuesday are the price rigging days, just to hide it from the Commitment of Traders report. So tomorrow should be the last day of rigging, and then Wednesday they'll start out by slamming it, and then the price will run up for silver. Let's take another look. Why I think that is true. They have just breached all three moving averages. That was their goal. Breach the moving averages. You see it happen time and time again. Breach the moving averages, cover as many shorts as you can, and let it run up. It's so ridiculous now. It's so ridiculous. But something new is happening. I'll get to that in 1 second here. But yes, silver price getting slammed today. We'll probably get slammed tomorrow till about, 10 o'clock Eastern time? And then you're going to watch it run. No, the price of silver isn't manipulated. Let's see how brilliant I am tomorrow. All right. Again, they have breached all the moving averages. That's when all the other bankers start going short, start selling their longs, blah, 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 and the criminal banks can cover what they're doing, and it's wash, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat. If you're a buyer of silver, congratulations. You get cheap silver today and tomorrow. All right. Something really interesting is happening right now. We are looking at there's been 4 delivery days, just the beginning of the September or August non-delivery month for silver. It's a non-delivery month. They've already had 848 contracts delivered in the first 4 days. It looks like at this rate, remember, you can buy a contract that day and take delivery that day. Of course, it's only the big banks that do this. Now, no normal investors have anything to do with the COMEX, and that's where the price is set for silver. So I would expect in January was the biggest day of the year on a non-delivery month for deliveries, over 5 million ounces, barely, 1,022 contracts. I expect this number, 848, to be the largest of the year as we inch toward the end game, September, October, November, the end game of the world. Here's another thing I've been looking at. Oh, by the way, if you want to know who's taking all this silver, that's an easy one right here. Bank of America Securities. Bank of America. Bang, 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 bang. Look at all those silver contracts taking delivery. And who's providing it? JP Morgan, of course. We've talked about this forever. The CFTC says, I don't see anything. The OCC had to change their data to hide the JP Morgan lease of 1.2 billion ounces of silver to Bank of America to rig the price. Now, where is it going? Where is Bank of America's silver? All the silver they've delivered this year. It's over 25 million ounces that they've taken in. Where is it going? That's the key. And 25 million ounces isn't all that much, but they need it everywhere they can get it. I mean, you look at the LBMA, supposedly they deliver around 100 million ounces every month. And of course, where do they get that silver? Nobody knows. Nobody knows if those numbers are real. But it makes you think. Now we have another exchange for physical. That's where they take the contracts, they get the price on the COMEX, and then they transfer that contract. Exchange for physical is a transfer of a contract on the LBMA to a cash delivery contract in London. So they work their way around all the regulations. It's fraud and criminality, but it's encased in a derivative bubble. Now, here's something I just noticed: very huge amounts of TASs, and I looked at TASs for a while. Here's the definition of a TAS. A TAS is trading at settlement. TAS, trade at settlement. Trading at settlement allows you to buy an eligible futures contract during up to 10 tickets higher or lower than the current day's settlement price. So it locks in a price, and these are for September. It's for the September delivery. And I'm like, I think September is going to be a massive delivery month. probably all transferred to London, but I think that's going to be the heart of silver deliveries, silver manipulation ends. I think that's all happening right there. COMEX defaults, you name it, it's going to happen, I think, in September. Who knows? A lot of people are starting to say September. Now, I've been saying September for over a year now. Watch September 11th, by the way. And so these TASs, basically, you can lock in a price for a September delivery if you wanted. And that's a pretty good thing. If you think September is going to go crazy, wouldn't you lock in a price today for that delivery in September? Now, so I said to myself, Bix, is this really happening? It was just a one-off day. I mean, this is almost 8 million ounces in one day, locking a price, September price in. So I went back over the last 5 days, and you can do that here on this CME data. So Friday was 1,737. Thursday was 1,800, another huge one. Wednesday, 2,474 contracts. That's, what's that, over 12 million ounces. And then Tuesday, 1,000. So I added them all up. Over the last 4 days, there have been 7,291 TASs. Basically, people locking in prices today for delivery in September. That comes to 36 million ounces. That's a lot of silver. That's more than what they hold in the deliverable silver warehouses. So we will see. Who knows? It is a derivative thing. They can make derivatives disappear overnight. But just imagine if this is one of the big riggers saying, okay, here's what I'm going to do. Or if it's a good guy saying, okay, here's what I'm going to do. Maybe it's that 50 million ounce long position that hasn't changed. I talked about that on Friday. It hasn't changed. It's still there. This single entity short and a single entity long are battling it out, both with 50 million ounces. One is long, one is short. We'll see what happens today. Obviously, the price slam is going on in silver, as you can see right there. And here's why. It finally went under the 200-day moving average, which was $23.20. So it got all three moving averages. Now I'll go down a little bit as the technical traders say, oh, it's gone under the moving averages. I am required by my technical analysis. It's already programmed into the computer that I have to short and sell off my longs. So, and that's the key to bottoming out. If you listen to Ted Butler, that's the key to bottoming out. Is that these technical traders literally are so easy to fool because once it goes under that, you know the tech traders are shorting, increasing their short position, and selling up their longs. And that's when the riggers buy it all back up, and then once they get enough, they run it higher. So we're going to see silver run higher in the next few days. Could they go another week? Sure. I mean, it's a click of a mouse to do it. Could they set the price of silver to minus $40? Absolutely. It's a click of a mouse. Sell 10 billion ounces of silver at this second. Click. There is no parameters. So they could drive this thing down to zero and then come September have a force majeure and shut down the market. Are they going to do it? I don't know. If they did it, that would be the end of silver manipulation because everybody would see what is obvious, that the COMEX Silver Derivative contract sets the price and is a fraud. 100%, 99% of these trades are banks trading back and forth to each other. Look at the volumes. Look at the volumes on the COMEX. Where are the volumes? Here we go. For example, Friday, and these aren't even big. Friday almost 35 million ounces, or 350 million ounces. Just under 350 million ounces traded in a single day. It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. That's close to half of all silver. And that was a boring day. Look at this day right here. Almost 500 million ounces in a single day. These are fraud trades done by fraud banks trading back and forth with each other using a company called Virtu Financial to do all the trading for them. Vinny Viola runs the company. The regulators come in to run cover for this bullshit. It's all going to fall apart. It all had to fall apart someday. It's all falling apart now. Keep an eye on it. All right, you got it? You got it? Good. So I would expect this to go on for another day. They got below the moving averages a day and a half before end of trading tomorrow at 10 o'clock. We'll see what happens. Who knows? They might be watching this. Okay, we got to slam it one more time before we let it run. I don't know. Nobody knows except the people who click the mouse. All right, and it's not a mouse click. That was always a joke I was running. Oh, look at that, really clicking the mouse. That was a joke. These are programmed in, sophisticated computer programs programmed in to set the price. Every single little tiny tick you see right here is set by computer programs programmed probably a week before, or a month before, or even a year before, to set the price or set the parameters of pricing. There is no free market anymore, especially in the most important market on the planet, silver. 180 years of price manipulation, price suppression is about to end. If you have cryptos, that's the future. Right, congratulations. But if you want the returns that cryptos could, crypto people are extremely greedy. They want their thing to blow up so sky high. If you want that, invest in all the physical silver you can right now. Silver is going to be the one that runs during the collapse. Just think about it. There'll be no crypto exchanges even open during the collapse. You won't know how much your crypto is. You won't know how much silver is. But you can be damn happy that you're sitting there with your chunks of silver. I do, again, if you haven't seen it, go see it. Sound of Silence is a movie exposing part of the corruption mechanism of silver, of gold, of the financial system, of the woke ideology, of the crazy leftists. Don't get me wrong, there's crazy rightists who are also doing this shit. But we need to destroy that system of abusing children so we can move on. Until that happens, Jenny Moonstone said it for 2 years now. That's the moment that silver's going to run. And this movie, I know you can poke holes in, oh my God, this guy's involved in this and that and this. This is exposing the number one problem in the world right now. This is the number one problem that they don't want to talk about. You won't hear this on MSNBC or CNN because they're involved in it. Go see the movie. Tell your friends about it. And if they don't want to see it, ask them why. If the leftist media don't want to talk about this movie, ask them why. Sound of Freedom should be on every newscast around the world. If you believe in freedom of everything, if you believe in doing the right thing, if you have any tiny bit of moral conscience, you will spread the word about this movie. It's doing well. It keeps doing well. It's like $170 million now. And it's about what Hollywood does not want you to see. This movie was made 5 years ago. Was not allowed to be released. Why was it released now? Is something going on? Before you go see Barbie, go see this movie. Sound of Freedom. All right. That's what I got for you. My latest private road post is all about J.P. Morgan and Epstein. That was the runner. Why do you think J.P. Morgan just deleted 47 million emails? The dumbest thing about that, deleting 47 million of your own internal emails, doesn't get rid of the external emails that many of those emails went to. Yes, they have all the NSA has all J.P. Morgan's emails, truthfully. And if the good guys control the NSA, they got it all. As Trump said one time, we have it all. There's nothing else you need. But you take this guy out and his company, you take down J.P. Morgan, you're going to take down Silver Suppression. And a lot of other things. So keep an eye on the Epstein, Jamie Dimon, the board of directors of J.P. Morgan were all involved. This is the end game. So I got for you. This is Bix, roadtoroad.com. Go to roadtoroad.com and click on subscribe today. I will send you, and we are going to end this very soon. It will end in a blink of an eye, and we'll give out something else. The Silver Ruta Lives coin, the coolest coin ever made. Get your hands on it. Limited edition. We're not going to sell them after silver hits $30 because silver's going to run 30, 50, gone. You won't be unobtainium, as Cliff High calls it. So check out that. Probably be giving out Veritasium, which is probably the next obsession I'll have, because of what's going on behind the scenes with Veritasium and the need for, after these markets are destroyed, after the collapse of the unbacked fiat money system, we can't go back to the same type of markets. We have to go to peer-to-peer markets. That's why the U.S. gave Reggie Middleton the patent for peer-to-peer technology, blockchain technology. And that's why Japan gave him 2 patents. So the whole takedown of Reggie Middleton, the way they did it, how they did it, why it was so egregious compared to every other investigation that the SEC did, and why they're holding in limbo 98 million of the 100 million tokens. I think there's big plans for Veritasium. And Cliff High's prediction of Veritasium eclipsing Bitcoin, it will be correct, I believe. That's why I call it a lottery ticket. Because if you win, I mean, imagine it's $20 right now going to, what's the price of Bitcoin? And what will be the price of Bitcoin then? I don't know. So anyway, go to roadruta.com, get your Silver Ruta coin, join the fight, get your backstage pass when you subscribe to a 1-year subscription, and support the Road Ruta. I'll talk to you later.